Well, the beer's more than half gone, and we ran into a little snag. Put the starter on, hit the solenoid clicked in, wouldn't roll over. I think it had a stuck brush or a bad connection here, so I couldn't get the ground to the brushes. But of course I couldn't get these screws out, so I had to grind the heads off those, get the end off of here, clean everything all up, put it back together, weld some nuts on the ends of the studs, which were used to be screws but turned into studs when I ground the heads off. But they screw into here long enough that there was some threads left over, so now I'm going to hook this up and see if my solenoid repair and starter repair was worth it. Now we're going to use the solenoid, which is this terminal right here. Oh yeah! Alright. So, now a little repair here on the air intake, and we'll hook up the fuel lines and see if we can't get something going. Probably going to take that fuel pump off from there and jump it across the battery and see if I get any movement in that first. So if that doesn't work, we won't be going any farther until I come up with another pump. Alright, what I've done now is I've got the fuel pump hooked up to the wire that goes to the solenoid so I can prime the fuel system. And I don't see any leaks yet. Cold start valve's not leaking. I don't see any leaks in the fuel system. And we are getting fuel out the return line. So I would say the fuel system is primed. We know it rolls over. I got to get an ignition coil. The one that belongs on here I think is the one that I've got sitting on the 41 Pontiac. That's a 12 volt coil. So I'm going to grab that. And I still don't know what happened to that plug wire. I guess I'll have to find that. Get the plug wire back on there. And guess we'll go from there. I remembered I took the plug wire off, because they're solid core wires, and I used it on one of the, I think I used it on the Briggs & Stratton, but I left the end here, so I put the end on another wire. We'll put that on. It's not perfect, but it'll work. And then this is the coil that I was using on the Pontiac. I'll get this mounted. There's my coil wire. You got the negative one hooked up from the distributor. I just had it. Oh, here it is. I'm going to have to go get, I've got a schematic for the fuel injection system, because I got some wires that I don't know where they go. I can't remember. There's, let's see, that one I think goes in there. This one is the starter solenoid. No. This one is the starter solenoid. I was borrowing it for the fuel pump. I know that one goes there. And I have two wires that come off from the computer. One is fatter. I think this one goes to the fuel pump, and this other one goes to the starter solenoid so that it knows when you're cranking it to open the cold fuel valve, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to go get my papers and see what they say. I don't believe it. I actually found it. So this is saying, see, brown, see, those are to the relays. Brown is ground, which I have hooked to ground. I have red and blue, and red and black. Red and black goes to the starter solenoid. Okay, so that one was right. That one should go here. Black goes to hot ignition, which I got right here. And then there's a red and blue one. I think that one goes to the fuel pump. Pink and blue fuel pump. Alright. So there, that's all hooked up. I guess it's the moment of truth. I'm going to set her up over here. Make sure the throttle's not stuck. Nope. I'm going to prime the fuel pump again. It may be that the points are corroded. In fact, that's probably a pretty good assumption. Alright, that's primed. If we don't get a pop or anything, it may also be that this double relay thing is messed up. It was messed up when I got the car. And I coupled in some other relays. Who knows, there's a good chance there could be a problem there. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm going to pull the coil wire off and see if we got any spark. Probably don't. But if we do, and I don't know what's the next step, it's probably not getting fuel. Probably squirt a little fuel in her and see if it fires. If I can get this to set here someplace. You can see if we got spark. And we have no spark. So let us see what's wrong with the point.